Webster defines business as an occupation, profession, or trade, and further defines it as the exchange of goods and or services for profit. Unfortunately, we as dentists rarely see ourselves as profit-seeking businessmen and or women. Nor did we receive any significant business training through our dental education. And that's unfortunate, for I think all of us would agree that owning and operating a dental business absolutely requires, at a basic minimum, business knowledge and skills. The practice is the economic engine which drives the system and makes everything possible. Through the practice, we provide clinical services for our patients and employment for our teammates. From the practice, we receive a comfortable living for ourselves and our families. And if we're smart, we'll use the practice to achieve our ultimate financial security. In his book, Making Money is Killing Your Business, Chuck Blakeman wonderfully describes the classic stages of business and how each stage impacts the decisions of the business owner. I'd like to briefly address 3 of those classic stages: survival, stability, and significance. Now, survival is all about cash flow. It's keeping one's doors open long enough to become profitable. Stability is that very dynamic and exciting time during a business when, with the profitability and cash flow, the business owner can now reinvest in his or her business and grow it. Significance is the sweet spot. In significance, the business owner is now reaping the rewards of both money and time. Life is good. Amazingly, even more than that, the business is now positively impacting more than just its clientele. No, it's also making a positive impact upon the local and the global communities. Shazam. I recently had the opportunity to hear Dr. Michael Fling of Oklahoma City, a nationally recognized speaker, reminisce about a visit with his classmate during his open house shortly after graduating dental school. Mike was impressed. His classmate boasted a freestanding brick building fully equipped with 5 state-of-the-art operatories. He employed 3, an office manager, chairside assistant, and dental hygienist. Mike, on the other hand, was working out of a small leased space with just 2 operatories furnished with used equipment. His only employee, his mother-in-law. His wife, a registered dental hygienist, was working full-time for a competitor to ensure family income. Interestingly, 1 year later, Mike's practice had grown to require a 3rd operatory, and his wife was now caring for his periodontal patients each evening from 6 to 8. His classmate had not fared as well, having closed his business and filed for bankruptcy. 2 classmates, same dental education, practicing in the same community, facing the same economic and market conditions. One started small and grew. The other started pretty big and failed. I think it's safe to say that unlike his classmate, Dr. Michael Fling understood the concept of survival. Like Mike, I started small and for a time served as my own dental hygienist. I rationalized that this would better enable me to get to know the people who were joining and building my young practice while keeping my overhead down. I'll never forget, though, caring for an elderly woman just a month or 2 after I had opened my doors. Now, you have to keep in mind that I was 27 years old. I had sandy blonde hair, and yes, I did, in fact, lack these marvelous wrinkles of experience and wisdom that you see before you. Upon completing her full mouth series of radiographs, probing, prophylaxis, and comprehensive exam, I proceeded to share with her my clinical findings and treatment recommendations. As I spoke, a smile appeared upon her face. She reached out, gently patted me on my shoulder, and she said, "That's just fine, Sonny, but I'll wait and hear it all from the doctor." Oh, yeah. Well, it wasn't easy, and it wasn't always fun. Much to the vast relief of my patients, I did, of course, eventually hire a real dental hygienist. And I made that important decision the same way just about every other young, inexperienced dentist with no business training made it, by my gut. Now I was really lucky because this time my gut was right. I made a good decision at the right time. But now I know the way to make that decision is through an analysis of the statistics of your practice. Specifically, Amy Morgan, CEO for the Pride Institute, recommends that 1 full day of hygiene is needed in a general practice for every 200 active patients of record. This introduces the concept of capacity, which simply means the practice can't grow or care for more patients without an investment in the facility, the equipment, staffing, or some combination of the three. Now, the good news is issues of capacity occur during stability. And stability is known for profitability and a positive cash flow. So it's the positive cash flow with an assessment of the practice statistics that enable and empower the clinician to make an informed business decision to invest in his or her practice. Now, Amy Morgan suggests that if that monthly cost is less than 10% of the monthly gross production, the practice can, in fact, anticipate a positive return on its investment. Through a clear shared vision, strong leadership skills, and understanding and application of the practice statistics, one can indeed grow his or her practice to a level of significance. It's so important that at this stage, the clinician maximizes the funding of his or her retirement plan and begins to develop an exit strategy 5 to 10 years out. Ironically, it's just at this time in the life of a practice, significance, the clinician feels they finally made it, they finally arrived. And now they begin to refer out procedures they commonly did which built their practice, but now they no longer wish to do. Ironically, this diminishes not only the value of their practice, but also the likelihood that someone else will purchase that practice. Without a transition, patients of record are left without continuing care. And those potential retirement dollars to the doctor's portfolio, gone forever. Survival, stability, significance. 3 classic stages of business that every dentist must know, recognize, understand, and apply to achieve financial success. If you are associated with an organization whose membership could benefit from my knowledge and experience, I would be most honored and humbled to share meaningful and insightful information with them. Working together, I know we can indeed build a booming business. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.